So we are race number 4 actually. Race number 3 didn't record. So here we go. It's my quest to win a D race. See how I got on today. Felt good actually, my legs, and yeah, I like, this is one of those catch races again where we get 6 minutes head start, the Ds, and we try and stay away from the C's, B's and A's. Last time we got caught by the C's, B's and A's. Last time I did one of these. I quite like in the kit actually. It's so we can tell who the D riders are, which is probably not required on this type of race because you're racing with them. But I can remember on our last attempt at one of these, everyone came past us in the end. It was all a bit muddled, and it was only on the map in the top that I could see that a couple of yellows got away with the C's, and I was a bit screwed. So yeah, I like this idea. I don't know if it's an update that it has happened on Zwift or it's just this particular race they've put us in the yellow kits and then the blue and the green and the red kits for the other guys. If this was a proper race where you all set off together, it'd be really useful, wouldn't it? Because all of a sudden you can know who you're racing against, because I'm not racing against those guys. Again, straight away off the bat, we're I don't know what that C rider was doing. Maybe he jumped the gate and and he's gone back out again. If you saw him. But anyway, we're kicking out 230 watts, which for me is about 2.6 watts per kilogram, I would reckon. But anyway, I've learnt from my first 4 races that you've got to go with them, don't you? And straight away, if you look in the top right hand corner of the map, you can see there's a group of people who aren't with this front group. So we've got rid of some people already. Going through London today, which is great because it's probably my favourite course. Obviously being from the UK, a lot of red phone boxes, a lot of red buses. Again, I'm not trying to go too crazy here, so yeah, I'm pushing out a lot of watts. You can see in the top left hand corner, but that front group, I'm thinking, well, you're not going to bomb away from us really, I don't think, and I don't really want to put the effort in to close it down. So I'm sat at the back of the first group. I'm conscious that if a couple of riders fell off the back, I'd have to put a bit of effort in to work my way up to that front group. But it's too early, isn't it? So I've just got a feeling that nobody's going to get away. We've got a bit of a kicker here. See me out the saddle there. The chosen drink tonight is Prosecco, by the way. Anyway, yeah, let's get on to the race. So I think we're doing a couple of laps. What is it? 27 k's to go, so it's about a 30 kilometre race. And I'm bombing along quite nicely. I don't really want to be doing that many watts, but I've closed the gap here because I am thinking that group behind me might be going, so I want to be in this front group. So I think I made a really good decision there of making sure I've gone in the front group. I didn't really want to be in the front, but again, I have learnt from previous races that when you catch a group up, you may as well go through them and make them work a little bit. You know, it's all about effort, isn't it, and how much you've got in your legs. So rather than just stop pedaling, I sort of just slow down a little bit and let the group catch me up. But the good thing about that is at least I gain the benefit of being off the front. I'm not really putting any effort in at the front. I'm just letting them catch me up again, and it's better than just coasting in. Or I think it is anyway. I am getting better on my watts per kilogram, so I think I'm about 2.2 now, my rating. So the good thing about that is I know that in the D riders I can probably stay with them, and I can probably push off the front of them. I mean, I've had a third, 2 seconds and an eighth. The eighth is the one I didn't record. That was such a hard race, but yeah, I quite like these where we're all in the group. 6 minutes in, the C's get let out the pen, and then I think there's about 3 minutes and another 3 minutes or something for the others. But yeah, as always, it's calmed down. that other group that was behind me sort of dropped off a little bit, so we're in two groups. So these are the guys we're playing against, and I've got a couple behind me, and then there's a 10-second gap, so the couple behind me, so what are we? We're in a group of 17, maybe 15, 16. So yeah, enjoy London for a little bit while we're just plodding along. I am very conscious of not having much of a sprint, so I'm just, and also I'm trying to conserve energy, and also I'm eating correctly, so I do have some gels now, and I do eat before I ride, and I'm trying to do, you've probably watched a lot of YouTube videos if you're watching this one, and try to listen to some people and take their advice in, and hopefully if you're a real proper beginner, you can take a bit of advice from what I'm doing. But yeah, just trying to stay in the draft, not get a bit crazy, just bide my time, and bomb along in the yellow group, which we're doing. So not finding it too difficult right now. But yeah, isn't it great, the London map? I think it's my favourite one. New York, my problem with that is all them pretend skyline roads that go above New York, and I don't really enjoy New York too much. I like France. I rode Scotland for the tour de Zwift, which I quite enjoyed Scotland as well. So I think Scotland might be one of my favourites, apart from there's about a 10-degree hill, isn't there, near the end, in the middle of the city. I've worked in Glasgow, so yeah, I do appreciate it's sort of like that. So anyway, London's my favourite track. So whenever it's there, I do try and ride it. Been at Fox Hill actually. I think Fox Hill's the reverse of Box Hill. In real life, I've gone up Box Hill quite a few times, and I'm a bit annoyed that every time I've done a route in London, I seem to go up Fox Hill, unless it's the same thing and they've renamed it. But I don't think they have. I think Fox Hill is the down element of Box Hill. So anyway, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Oh, and while you're on, you may as well subscribe. I'll be putting quite a lot of my races on and other rides. There's one ride, if you want to go look at it, where I was in a race riding with the Eric Min, the CEO of Zwift. I didn't even know who he was until someone pointed it out to me. Anyway, there's a couple escaped off the front there, look. So I'm just pushing a little bit now to make sure that there's not a big breakaway. But look, we've got 24 kilometers to go, so I'm not really that bothered about chasing them down. I'm assuming they'll come back to us. Again, on the right hand side, we look at all the other participants. You can see what watts they're kicking out, and they're not kicking out more than what we are. So I'm just assuming we're going to come back to them, and that happens a lot all through this race, really. There's a couple go off the front. We cover that move, and then the top's down already. So I am bombing a little bit. Again, we'll close that one down. Another attack. It's like a proper race, isn't it? So someone else is attacking, but again, it's too early, isn't it? I mean, I'm just thinking if it was me, and as I've got better, if it was me off the front there right now, I'm not thinking I'm going to last to the end, because there's the power in the numbers, isn't there? If you're in the peloton and you've got more people, you're just going to wipe these lone rangers aside, I think. So anyway, just keeping up with it. But I am conscious at the moment that we might be dropping a couple of them. Like I said, there was about 15 and 16 hour group, and there was about 10, maybe 15 that were in the group behind, which you can see on the map at the top. Yeah, I don't think they're going to catch us back up again. So straight away, I'm trying to use what little race skill I've got. We're coming into Mall for the first time, if you know London. Heading down towards Buckingham Palace, and we're flying along. There's a sprint here, but I'm not really bothered about that. I think one guy goes off and does the sprint. Giving a few rides on, telling myself down, taking it easy, not trying to break any records, not trying to be stupid. There's only one finish line, isn't there? And this isn't it. So So yeah, they might all speed up a bit here. But again, even if they do, I'm just thinking someone's trying to get a PB on a sprint, so let them do it. But trying to cover every move, trying to stay, like I've done other rides, I normally stay about 10th, but there's probably about 16 or 17 in this group maybe. I'm just trying to stay in the middle and not get dropped off the back and leave them gaps, because them gaps give you, it's all them little efforts, isn't it, where you've got to put 300 watts in just to catch it back up again. So and in previous races I've often done that when I've toweled myself down, wipe a bit of sweat away, put my head down for a second, all of a sudden I'm off the back. So I'm really trying to look at the screen all the time, just adjust my cadence a little bit, not really my gears, just change your cadence a little bit if you dropped off, and if you're too near the front, slow it down a little bit and just try and stay in the pack. The pack is the safe place to be. Yeah, but we're in the front group, so I'm happy with the start. I think the start, I'll give myself a 9 out of 10, I would reckon. Probably shouldn't have gone off the front a little bit, but I've covered every move that's gone on. Lovely going down the Mall, isn't it? I did ride London probably about 5 years ago now, where we did the 100-mile bike ride around London, starting at the Olympic Stadium, and you end on the Mall, and it's that's the longest ride I've ever done in my life. And also my previous longest ride before I actually did that was about 50 mile. I think I did the Sunday before. Yeah, so I couldn't believe I got through that, but adrenaline really does kick in, a bit like it does in these races. So when you're bombing along in a race, all of a sudden you seem to have more watts, and I know it's maybe double drafting and stuff, but when I do a lot of group rides, that you don't seem to be able to put the power down as much, because in a race, it's a race, isn't it? So it gets your adrenaline pumping. So again, I'm very, very happy with what I'm doing right now on the Mall. Riding back up the other end of the Mall now. I'll try and, if you're not from the UK, I'll try and point out a few. Obviously, it's not a perfect map of London, but we do go past quite a few landmarks. And it's a great course, isn't it? And nice sunny day for London, which is very nice as well. Yeah, so just bombing along. Where am I now? I'm at the back of this group, so there's 15 of us in this group, so I'm thinking the winner's going to come from here, from the D riders, but we're also bombing along quite a lot. We do over 39 clicks. So I'm also thinking, what we don't do much, or I've never seen happen, is I know I'm racing against the other D riders, but it'd be lovely in one of these races where it's the cat and mouse race, where if we all started talking to each other and take a few turns at the front just so that we win, we could actually win the whole thing. And we, like I say, we got caught about 3 kilometers from the end on the last one of these I did. But this one seemed a bit harder. I'm a bit fitter, and there was a lot more attacks going on and a lot more people going off the front and keeping the power up. So you never know, we could actually win the whole race, and instead of getting your little gold or silver or bronze trophy for your category, you could actually win the whole thing, because we've got a chance, haven't we? Because we get a 6-minute head start. So the other group are chasing us. Can't see them on the map yet. I do have my companion app on my bike as well, and occasionally, and I know it's probably because I'm a little bit more experienced, I do zoom it in and out every now and then to see if later on in the race, to see if the next group are catching us, just because, if you win this race, wouldn't it be even better if you win the whole race? Everyone knows the rules when they sign up, so the C, B and D A riders are chasing us down, but yeah, going quite nicely at the moment. I did. I've ridden this course a couple of times as well, so I do sort of know where there's little kickers. There's not much. I mean, it goes to 3, 4, 5 gradient at some point. So I'm just hanging on the back, and I'm very conscious when we hit them little kickers. Not so much on this lap, but on the next lap, I'm I'm trying to look at on this lap where they are, because I know hills are my nemesis. I'm getting miles better at them, but they're still tricky for me, and I do generally lose a little bit of pace to the lighter riders and have to put a bit more effort in, and I'm just making sure I know where they are. I think when we come around Big Ben and we go near the underpass, you do get a couple of inclines, then you get another one, probably about 4 kilometers from home. There's another one, so I was consciously just sort of keeping an eye on the course, which is good because I'm not actually thinking about riding at the moment. Look at this, I'm only doing 130 watts. So the whole thing has slowed down a little bit. Everybody's looking at everybody else. Probably nobody wants to be off the front, but that washing machine effect sort of is kicking in where we all take our turn, but I'm trying not to. I'm trying to just sort of stay steady, keep the pace up as much as I can, and then enjoy the beautiful sights and sounds of London town. And well, I'm not even in the cycle lane there. I should be getting told off. So anyway, we're 9 kilometers in. I'm not finding this that difficult. You can see on the left there, I'm looking down. I'm just thinking, well, just again dropped off the back because I'm looking down. But I do feel like I've got a lot of power in my legs. So I always think now if I get dropped, I can just put 300 watts in for, I don't know, for about 10 seconds and just catch them up again. But I prefer not to do that. You want to keep your legs for the end. I still haven't got a sprint, which is very annoying. I did a ride last night, actually. This isn't last night's ride, but I did a ride last night where I did actually practice sprinting in a group ride and smash my wattage. So I think it's more in my head that I can't sprint, a bit like in my head that I can't get up hills. But you know, when I started on the 22nd of December, that first ride was 100, and I did another video actually riding this route. This is the first route I ever did on Zwift, and I rode this route last week just on a normal pace, and my watts per kilogram on my first ride on December was 1.3, something like that, and my watts per kilogram on the 2 laps I did were way higher. There were 2 and 2.4 or something, because I put a lot of effort in the second lap. But the first lap I just wanted to ride normal and see how much just my normal pace without putting anything in. And yeah, I was a good 2.5 minutes quicker. So go watch that video if you haven't already, if you're still with me and not bored yet. I do like posting these though, so if you're enjoying them and not, but it do look great in all our yellow kits. So we know we're D-riders, and when we get caught, at least we know we don't have to chase these other guys. When you're in your normal kit and people flew past you on these cat and mouse races, you were like, well, what the hell? And just didn't really know what was going on. Whereas because we're all in the same colour, and I hope they do this in all the other races, they may have made a change and start doing it. Because when you all set off together, I can remember I did a race in France where I came second, but there was or third I think I came, but there was a yellow blob further up the road, and we lapped about 6 other yellow blobs on the map, and I thought I was chasing them, so I was putting in massive effort to try and gain one place when I was already ahead of them. So it's quite nice seeing the colour of you know, the D riders. So when we start getting caught, or if we get caught, we can then decide whether it's worth chasing people or not. And that's where I fell foul last time, because a couple of the yellow riders jumped on the coattails of the C riders and went off in oblivion beyond. And it wasn't until the map in the top right hand corner, I think, oh, there's a couple of yellow riders up there. They knew what was coming, whereas I think it's a bit more obvious now. So if we all got overtaken right now, which we're not going to, but if we did, I think you'd be more conscious of thinking, oh, there's a couple of guys gone up the road there and got a draft. So I would have probably reacted if I could see the kits. So yeah, hope this is in every race. Actually, I hope every race you can see who you are. Again, there's not a lot going on right now, and there's not a lot of scenery to tell you about, but there we go. Again, not finding it that hard at the moment, putting a bit of effort in every now and then. Got some good riders with us. There's it's weird, isn't it? Because when you ride on a race, you seem to push out these watts where you're thinking, well, are you really a D rider? And people can, you know, they can weight dope and height dope and all that stuff. So I'm riding at, just to give you some perspective, I'm riding at 90 kilos right now. That's about to go down to 89, because what I do, because your weight changes all the time, if I weigh myself 3 days in a row and I'm in the 88s, because I'm about 89.5, and then every now and then I'll go to 88 because I'm just dropping off the back here. I shouldn't be doing that. So if I'm 3 days in a row in the 88s, I will drop my weight down to 89, and then all of a sudden you'll just go up to 89 or 90 or something. But yeah, I'm not trying to cheat, because you're only cheating yourself, aren't you? So my height is correct. My weight is 90 currently. It's about to go down to 89. If I have another day or so in the 88, 88.8 or something, I'll have to drop it down, which will help me on the hills, won't it? But it's not about you. You just, what's the point? You know, I could put my weight down tons and win loads of races, but you're an idiot, aren't you? I mean, you're getting a little bit of glory, but in the back of your head, you know that you're cheating. So there's no point. So you don't know, obviously, all the people you're racing against, you don't know what they're doing either, but I don't care. I'm just doing what I'm doing. I'm joining races because I enjoy them, actually. It's better than just riding around on your own. I also enjoy group rides, I must admit, and I'll just go back. If I'm on a group ride that's a bit easy, I'll just go at the back of the field, help the sweep team for a bit, then really try and catch back up again and give myself a workout, rather than just taking it easy. I'm dropping off the back again here. What are you doing? So yeah, but it looks like I'm going to finish at least 15th. That's where we're at. We're coming back into town now. Look, there'll be a few pubs. There's another phone box on the left. I really do enjoy the London landscape, and then very cleverly, if you've done Box Hill or any of that, they take you through the underground, and all of a sudden you come out in the Surrey Hills. Well, when I did that 100-mile bike ride, we rode to the Surrey Hills, and it isn't just through an underground station and all of a sudden you're there. You go through Richmond Park, you end up back out of Richmond, you've got to go all the way up to Leatherhead. It's absolutely mild. And so I quite like the fact they've brought the mountains, they've brought the hills to the city, rather than, if that was real life, you get a bit bored going along there. The ride London was fabulous, by the way, and if you have not done it, having every road shut in London, and you can go on both sides of dual carriageways, and it's just so much fun. And the drafting as well, you'll get little teams of 10 people, and you just jump on the back of them and just drags you around. And I wasn't a very experienced rider then, but I did it with my cousin, who was really, really good. And he even had to sleep for about 20 minutes waiting for me to catch up. We lost each other, and he was a good rider. He got really serious though. He was at the point, there's a group called the Chain Gang who used to ride. I don't think they do anymore. And there's a good group, medium group, rubbish group, and I used to ride in the really good group, and they're full of ex-pros. And I used to hang on for about, and they didn't go daft, but it was Tuesday night, so I used to hang on for dear life until we got to the first hill near Weybridge. And when we got that first hill, I was just dropped for dear life, and then they'd all just crack on and have a sprint. I meet them in the pub, and I just couldn't stay with them up them hills, and they were just like having a chat on the way up. But anyway, we're bunching around a bit here. Look, everyone wants to be in the lead for some reason, including me. Again, conserve. That's what it's all about. So this is that underpass I was telling you about, where you go downhill for a bit, and then we hit a bit of an incline coming out the other end, which isn't massive, but this is my first lap in this race, so I'm just trying to clock where everything is and where I might need to put a bit of effort. I think it only goes to 2 or 3 here. Just got a bike, look, a specialised bike. Is it any good? S-Works specialised bike. Yeah, don't know. So here we go. It goes up to 4 then. So we're up to 4. Again, I'm pushing. I've probably gone down a gear and I'm spinning a little bit just to try and. If I'm going to get dropped, I'm going to get dropped on one of these. So I'm just trying to consciously note where they are. The bloke walking to work there. Yeah, phone boxes galore. Still in the group. Lost me a little bit, look. I mean, that's what I'm on about. I've put a big effort in there, but I'm a heavier bloke, so I have to put a big effort in. So I'm just making sure it's first lap that I don't go too daft. And then there's people behind me obviously suffering as well. There's 10, 11 meters behind me. And you can see there's a few of us struggle on them hills. So I'm thinking, right, okay, I hope this isn't near the end. And as you can see, we're just approaching the end of the first lap. So on the next lap, I'm thinking, right, don't fall off the back here and expend your big effort then, because that's just a waste of time, isn't it? And waste of effort, and I'll have nothing left. But yeah, still happy at the moment. Not too bad, look. I'm not towing myself down too much. Got my top open. Fans on 3. Yeah, and we'll come round here, Big Ben now. Not sure. No. So yeah, it is a little spread out now for my liking. I'm in 9th or 10th. There's a few people run off the back. So that little tiny hill did sort of affect people. But when we go downhill, can you see, I've rode California. Look at that. When I'm going downhill, I do put a bit of effort in because, again, we benefit from that, don't we? So, yeah, went to the front. Just thought I'll see what's going on. Make sure I'm in this front group, because it is, if you look at all them numbers down the bottom, people were dropping off. They put a bit of effort in to get back on. There's still about 15 of us. Don't think we've lost anybody. So I think the race is set, isn't it now? So it's set for the next lap, which we're just about to come up to. So yeah, London bus on the left there. I'm sure that monument was probably a squirrel, which is Zwift's little mascot. And never seen an air balloon in London, but we'll run with it. Union Jacks everywhere, so we're very patriotic around here. Is that the telecom tower at the back there? I'm just seeing. Probably is. Probably lob that in there. I've not seen that before. I'm looking at my other competitors' wheels at the moment. Oh, there's Nelson's Column. Probably Nelson's Column. Going the wrong way. So yeah, that was Nelson's Column. We're coming into what's this archway called? It's got a name, that archway. Can't remember. If you know what that archway is called, let me know in the comments. And here we go. So the second sprint, but again, we're not that bothered. Just trying to stay on the wheel. Don't do out stupid. I was 4th in the last sprint, look, but that's probably because the Sea Riders haven't got to them. Well, they should have done. Don't know. Anyway, yeah, bombing along down the mall again. Hit the sprint. There's one guy sprints off here, I think. Yeah, he gives it the old heave ho. Let's see if he gets a personal best. Who's that? Who's that up there? So, do we get confetti? No, we don't. Okay, but he bombed off again. I'm not bothered about him unless he's a pro rider who's going to bomb off the front and then keep his watts up and get a big break. I do fancy doing that though. Do you know what I really fancy in one ride? I suppose when I'm at the top of the D category and I'm about to move to C, if things go as planned, I'd love to do a dummy sprint and bomb off the front and try and do a lap. I'm sure it'll never happen, but Wouldn't it be cool? Managed to do a breakaway win rather than trying to win it on a sprint. I can remember I read Bradley Wiggins' autobiography, and I think he did that. I think in the Tour de France he went about 8 minutes ahead, and he said, and the wind switched, and he got hit by a headwind, and he lost by about 30 seconds, and otherwise he reckons he'd have won that. And that wasn't the year he won it. This was about 4 years before, when he was more of a really good at time trials and stuff, and he just did a breakaway with two other riders. He dropped them, and he says how he reckoned he would have won that stage if the wind hadn't turned. Yeah, it'd be nice to do that, wouldn't it? I'm no Bradley Wiggins, by the way. I haven't got the chops, have I? You need them chops to be Bradley Wiggins, and you need to sort of be a mod, be into the Who and stuff. So here we go, we're on lap 2. Again, there's still them 15 of us. It's very annoying that we haven't got rid of anybody, but you'll see in a bit, if you stay with us, that I do try something not near the end of the race. So I'm thinking, well, I can't out sprint people, so let's get rid of a few. I did try something, and I'll point that out. I mean, when I look this back and I edit it, if it's a bit boring, I'll fast forward to that bit. Yeah, get a few ride-ons. Again, we're not pushing tons of watts. So if you are new to racing, one of the things I would definitely do is make sure you're getting that front group. Put all your effort in up front, because you're going to get a rest. And you've just got to cover the moves then, don't you? So I think we're all, not just me, I think we're all, grey-head me there, but I think we're all just happy thinking there's 15 of us, let's whittle it down. Hopefully the sprinters will be happy now, won't they? They'll be thinking, oh well, I can knock out a sprint, and I know I can't. So we'll see. But anyway, here we go, lap 2. I will try and mention some more landmarks this time if I get the chance. Again, it's all effort, all work. Yeah, I'll probably fast forward this bit so we're getting near the end. So here we are back. I've fast forwarded the race a little bit, so you're not bored of riding around London. You can see the sun's gone down a little bit. It's not as sunny a day. But in a minute, I actually try and break this group up a little bit. I'm feeling quite powerful, feeling quite confident. I'm thinking, right, I'm at the front. So can you see my wattage up there? I've just gone 300 watts. And I thought, let's just power on a little bit. And you can see straight away down the bottom with all the country's flags. I've got a bit of a breakaway going on. I'm 4 meters ahead of anybody else. And this isn't me trying to win the race. This is me trying to make other people work a little bit and put a bit of effort in and lose some of their sprinting legs. And I think it was quite a good decision because as you'll see when we get further in the race, yeah, they're all catching me up, but I'm not really pushing nothing now. I'm recovering again, but at least I've let them know I'm there, and I got a bit of a gap and they all had to do something about that. And there's still some people 2 or 3 meters back, and you're thinking, right, they've probably lost the toe a little bit. And I was just attempting to get this group down to less than 15. It didn't actually work, but you don't really know that, do you? Because it might have got some legs. I felt okay. I was never attempting a breakaway. It was like a breakaway bluff where I thought, do you know what? I'll put the hammer down just for about 10 seconds. Make you all chase me a little bit. A few people would have been caught napping, and I thought, and then I'll just go back and recover. So I've never done that in a race before. And as you can see now, I'm 12th, 13th, 14th. So I don't think we lost anybody. But the thing was, it would have been a bit of a shock to the system, I think. And I'd probably do that in other races. I think it was quite. I felt all right. So I didn't think I was killing myself doing that. I thought just put a few watts in, out my own, and who knows? I mean, if they hadn't chased me down, I might have just kept on going. I was 5Ks from the end, and I know I did a group ride the other week where I smashed my best 12-minute effort by a mile, because I went and helped the sweepers, and then what I did while I was helping the sweepers, I then left them and tried joining the main group again, and I really put some wattage in for a good 10 or 12 minutes. So I was thinking, I've only got 5 minutes, I can probably push quite a lot of watts out, but I'm back in the group anyway, so that didn't work, but maybe did work as well. You never know, do you? Somebody's legs might have gone a little bit. And then we're getting ready for the end now, aren't we? So 4.5 kilometers to go. Trying to conserve as much energy as possible, trying to stay in the draft. Not doing a great job because I keep going back down to my handlebars. So I'm Zwift isn't positioned me nicely. I'd like to be in that pack, please. Can you move me along? Yeah, I'm in the draft again now. So I'm just thinking finish of race now. And bearing in mind I've finished second, a third, a second. I'm thinking I've got a chance in D races. I think I finished second on Zwift Power on this race when it was in France, when I first did the cat and mouse race. So yeah, just conserving energy, trying to stay in the draft, looking at the click meter at the top, so 3.9 kilometers to go, and I'm thinking I probably can't out sprint anybody, so I'm probably going to go early, but then I know when I hit the mile, you know, it's quite a long, all of the sprints at the end of the mile, it's quite a long little trek, that is, you know. So I'm just trying to position myself in a good place and hope that I've got a bit of sprinting in my legs. I think I put my gears down a bit here, and I'm really powering out some high cadence, 92 cadence. I'm trying not lose power in my legs. I'm trying to spin quicker and not go stupid. Because I'll put a bigger gear down when I do the sprint. But again, another big effort here. So I thought I thought that last thing worked. So I thought if I go off the front a little bit, make everyone work. Not a great sprinter. Get rid of a few more, at least make them work a little bit. And again, I've put 4 meters into people, 9 meters into one person there. So they're obviously having to put something in. And then we are putting some work in now. I mean, I was up to 280 there, I think, on wattage. So, yeah, happy place. 3 kilometers to go. And it's weird. When you're looking at your kilometers to go, it seems to be, don't go down very quick when it's 20 kilometers to go. It seems to take forever. But when you get near the end, it seems to just creep up on you. And luckily, I know the end of this race because we turn into the mile and on the red road. So it sort of signs it for you. But again, I'm just thinking, I'm scared of my sprint, aren't I? I'm thinking, go again, let's go again. And I don't lose anybody, but hopefully I've probably put a bit of doubt in their legs, if nothing else. And I know this hill's coming up here, so I'm trying to really put down a bit of power downhill so it helps me on the uphill, because that's where we all spread out a little bit on that last lap. I can remember when we came up this hill here, and when it goes to a 4 incline, we all spread out a bit. So I'm really hammering it here. So I'm 300 odd watts, just to make sure that I don't end up at the back of this group, because I know there's only 2.5 kilometers to go, and this 4 incline could kill me. I'd be off the back, and there could be a little split group that go away. So yeah, stayed with them. Happy with myself. Again, I've put a bit of an effort in to do that, but you look at them numbers behind me. I mean, there's 10 people 10 meters behind now, 11 meters behind. So that did break everybody up like I thought it would. So on the first lap, I thought it might be quite important. And yeah, they're probably all going to catch back up again. But you know, they're going to have to put a bit of effort in. 2 kilometers to go. Getting all excited, and then I make quite a big mistake in a minute. I end up leading everybody out, which wasn't the plan. And although I know I do that, as I come into the mile, I'm in first position. I shouldn't really be doing that, but I'm not sure if I towered myself down. I'm not sure if I just put down a few too many watts, and there's a slight delay. Maybe I just ended up at the front. I don't. There we go. It's probably that. It's probably toweling myself down and getting ready for the end bit. But you'll see when we get to turn into the mile, for some reason I'm in the front. So I'm typical lead out rider. Well, that's, if you want to win the race, you don't really want to be leading everybody else out, but I do end up being there. And we have got rid of a few people. Can you see that? There's a few people 6 seconds back, 7 seconds back. So our group with the zeros is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 of us left now. So I'm going to finish in at least 10th. And yeah, this is where I'm thinking, 1.4 kilometers to go, get a good position, and then I'd lead everybody out, which is stupid. So I think it's probably because, looking back on it now, this is the look back, I think it's because everybody bombed past me there. I've probably put a big effort in here thinking I haven't got much of a sprint, I've got to get in a better position, and then unfortunately I've bombed past everybody just at the 1 kilometer mark. And don't know why I did it, because I should have sat on a wheel somewhere along the line, but I did. Why? I don't know. Your brain is a bit scrambled. So we're coming into the turn for the mile in a few seconds, and what am I doing there? So I've got everybody, I'm giving everybody a tour. Everybody's sat on my wheel. Yeah, and I think I'd do it again. So I've just done it once, and then I think it's just conscious about keeping some power down. And what I think I was doing was thinking, well, I can probably, the way I ride and because my sprinting is not great, I can hold power for quite long. And again, we could come past Nelson's column here. I know the turns here. I'm putting some power down thinking, well, at least I'll catch these guys up and make them honest. And then I end up in the front. And I shouldn't be there right now unless I'm going to sustain that, and I don't. So what I'll do, I end up with everybody bombing past me, and then I put down some real power to try and catch them up again. So there you go, the C riders have just caught us up. Is it the C's or the B's? I don't know, whatever blue is. So we have a few of them come past us, so we beat the A riders, which is great. So the C's caught us up, the B's didn't, and the A's didn't, and now I've put some serious power down. 500, 520. I've not got much left, to be honest, but yeah, there's a few ahead of me. What does happen here? I catch this guy. It looks like I didn't it? But on the results, I actually beat him. So I came 12th overall, which is great. When on Zwift Power, I might put the graphic up. On Zwift Power, I came second actually in the D riders. The guy ahead of me, if you can see there, he hasn't got a heart rate monitor on, so he got disqualified. And the guy ahead of him beat me, so I came second. However, that guy there, without the heart rate monitor, it didn't look like I caught him on the line, but I must have done. Oh no, it's the one behind me. It's the one who's 13th. For some reason, I got a better time than him, even though on the road it looked like his wheel was ahead of mine. Anyway, there you go. So I finished second, third of the D riders on the road, 12th in the race overall, and second in the D categories. So that elusive win is still avoiding me, which is very annoying. So I'll see you next time, and hopefully I can bring you a win. All right, please like, subscribe, and all that if you're still here. I'll be putting quite a few of these out and other cycling videos as we go, and some book videos as well, if you're into reading. All right, have fun. Cheers, guys. Thanks. Bye.